Coffee with the Coach with Dusty May, University of Michigan head coach. You good?
Doing great, Jim. How about yourself?
I'm wonderful, man. Congrats on the start of the season, and you guys are peaking too soon. I cracked up at the press conference when somebody asked you that question. That was a great response.
Well, that's just kind of how it is. I heard a coaching friend say it recently that the most difficult part of this level is like you win a game and you're the best ever, and then you lose a game and you're the worst ever. And so you just always trying to balance the process of getting better and weigh in that the enemy gets a vote as well. We don't ever just control our own performance. The opponent has a lot to say about it.
Do you think because of these phones, this mobile device, that your players obviously are inundated with information that as athletes they didn't get 10, 15 years ago, but also do they tend to police themselves more? They know when they took a play off. They see those highlights instantly, even before maybe you can even have a chance to talk to them.
No question. It's funny. 5 to 10 minutes ago, I was talking to Yaxel about a comment he made about last year's team, and it didn't come out the way he intended it to, and so it sounded awkward to his former teammates, who he has a lot of respect for and helped him get to where he is on his journey. And then I was talking about it in front of one of his teammates, and his teammate said, "Oh yeah, I heard that interview too." So absolutely, they hear it all, they say it all, and we try to make sure we use it as a weapon with the messages we put out, as far as everything we put out that we have our staff has a say in, has a real team concept to it, because those ultimately those are the things that mean the most.
All I hear is Bo saying the team, the team, the team.
Yeah,
Right? I
absolutely.
mean, and when I'm watching him, I was watching the Maryland game, and I'm thinking to myself, Yaxel you could tell him every night go for 30, and he would do it, and he wouldn't blink. But it wasn't that he was reticent to do that, but including everybody, is that something you've preached from the beginning, or is that something that's kind of built into these players that you've shaped into a team?
Both. We recruit guys that's who they are and they buy into it. But no, with Yaxel, we've actually had to tell him to shoot more. He's turned down open shots, but I think that's the theme of our team. They all enjoy passing it. They've made each other better, and as far as holding each other accountable, and we've had incredible leadership as guys have gotten more comfortable with each other, with the group, and knowing what they bring, what their secret sauce to our equation is. And so it's been fun to see these guys grow together and really take ownership of our team.
Now you'll hear the games right here on 94.7 WCSX in Detroit. We got a week off in LaSalle coming up next. And I was thinking about something generationally. As we grew up, we knew 1 through 5. I like for Detroit, Isaiah's a point guard. He's a 1. Joe was a 2. Lambert was a 5. Mahorn was a 4. I mean, you think about even like the going to work Pistons, Big Ben in the middle, and you did that. I watch Yaxel and I go to myself, he could play all 5 positions, but is that a function of them growing up watching Kevin Durant, watching LeBron? They've evolved into different kind of players than we even grew up with.
I would have to ask Yaxel that question. He's so late to the game. It certainly has an impact because he follows those guys and he watches them. But his ability to learn on the fly is something that I haven't seen before. Typically when you're smart as he is as a player, it's hours and hours of film work, of intentional work, and multiple reps. With Yaxel, we can add something in one day, and he's able to pick it up and do it at a high level that day or the next. So he's obviously blessed with some real gifts from DNA, and then also from the man above. So yeah, but I think all those things rolled into one is why he plays. But he played 5 at UAB. I remember hearing all the criticism all summer that this wasn't going to work because we were playing 3 5 men together. And my response to staff was always, well, they haven't seen Yaxel play enough, because even at UAB, they did a nice job of getting him driving downhill. He made the right plays as far as passing, and they played some 1-3-1 in different defenses. So he was accustomed to changing defenses. But yes, without a doubt, he can play 1 through 5, and he can play them all well enough to win against good teams.
Does that change how you design? I wouldn't say the build of a team, but even as you coach and design plays and stuff, that we are evolving to where it's not as simple as just a traditional point guard and a small forward and a power forward and a center. Do you find that your mindset as a coach changes?
Yeah, it obviously was still fresh for us. We played Danny Wolf at basically a point forward, or he was a primary playmaker for us. So we had a good foundation with all the returners of playing through a bigger playmaker, and so it wasn't new, but also Yax is different. I mean, he's going to defer to his teammates. He's not going to. I think he was before last game. He was fourth on our team in usage, and he was the. I think now he's the second most efficient player in all of college basketball, and he's probably second or third in usage for us. So he has to find ways to get involved, but also he's so content just being one of the guys, and that's something that lends itself to being having a real healthy team dynamic. When your stars, you hear it a lot with the Thunder. Their superstar Shea Alexander, he just wants to be one of the guys, and so he's somebody that's continuing to improve daily. But yeah, his personality is a big part of our success.
Do you want the team to get pushed in some of these games, or are you happy just winning by 30? Maybe that's a pedestrian question. I don't know the answer to that.
No, I mean, we get pushed, and we're going to get pushed regularly. And we were for the first 5 games we played, and let's count Cincinnati as a game. And we played everyone, and we didn't have a die in Merez, two of our most efficient players in that game. And then St. John's was a one possession game, and then TCU and Wake Forest both pushed us to the limit. So we have some of those under our belt, games that we didn't play well, and it was choppy and ugly, and we found ways to win. There's going to be several more of those. We're going to be in some one possession games. We're going to have to battle from behind. And then there are going to be nights when we have a big lead, because we are that potent offensively, and we have a really strong defensive group as well. So, but I would prefer to not be in a position where luck could come into play with a half court shot. We lost at Minnesota last year, where we performed much below our standards, and we got beat on a half court shot. Well, we shouldn't have been in position to allow a half court shot to come into play, but we were. And so if you ask me, could we have a large margin or be in one possession games? When you're in one possession games, you have to factor in you're probably going to lose every other one if you just go by the math, and everyone being somewhat equal.
And the Big Ten in itself is just, I mean, it's so good top to bottom. Well, that goes for every sport, but basketball, men and women, it's a lot. And I'm sure the players, when they come into this, they know you're jumping into the deep end of the pool when you get in the Big Ten.
Absolutely. And our league, it's not getting easier. I think it's taken another jump from last year. And so the quality of players night in, night out, the age, the depth. I mean, it's this NIL era and the transfer portal era. When you look, even the teams that claim to not take guys out of the portal, it took 4 guys last year, and we took 4. So you're just adding older players. You look at Illinois' roster, and they're one of the best teams in our league, and they've taken older players across the water. And so everyone's done it a little bit differently, but when you look, I don't know if there are any teams in our league that are going to be competing for real meaningful games in March that are playing with a lot of young guys. There's experience, there's age, there's some scar tissue on all the best teams.
How good can Mara be? Because he's fun to watch. I mean, he's 7'3", but where is the ceiling for a guy like that?
His ceiling is, I don't know what it is. He's just scratching the surface.
Really?
Oh, he has another big jump to make, and we have to continue to figure out different ways to use him. He's special. I mean, his gifts. I mean, he's to be able to move the way he does, to have the ability to make decisions under duress and pressure. I mean, I don't know what his ceiling is, but it's much higher than how he's playing now, and he's playing well.
I hear, we talk like one game at a time. You want to focus on the next game with LaSalle. You don't, obviously don't look behind you, whatever. Do you talk to the players about hanging a banner? I mean, do you just put it out there and go, look, we're at the top of this for a reason. You guys are good. Why don't we talk about that? I don't know. What are those conversations like, Coach?
It's more of championship habits. That's one of the things. It's going to take endurance. It's going to take stamina to go through a Big Ten schedule. But yeah, we talk about that, what we're going to need to do if we're going to hang a banner. And we're not obsessed with that banner, but it's just a symbol of the day-to-day work. And we have to layer our offense, our defense, our special teams in a way that we can refer back to a lot of the lessons we're learning now. And so there's always a championship in mind, and it's not that moment, but it's the habits that are developed today. So, we talk about it. December 16th, we practice tomorrow. Championships are won on days like tomorrow because it's finals week. You have a tendency to let off the gas because you have a lower conference opponent coming in for a bye game on Sunday. But championship level teams perform and play to a standard regardless of who's in and who they're playing. And so those are the day-to-day tests that or quizzes, I should say, that we're trying to pass.
You're Indiana, right? So I assume you've seen the movie Hoosiers.
About 3 million times, yes.
Okay. All right. Can we all agree that the picket fence was a moving screen?
It's only a moving screen if it was called a moving screen.
See, you agree with that though. Okay.
Yeah.
Double screen, right? That's all it is. That's all that play is.
Well, essentially, no question, but that's not the moral or the plot or even the point of that scene. But in the Big Ten, if you called every moving screen, I don't know if the big guys would be able to play more than about a couple minutes a night.
So I'll let you know, I do a lot of stuff here. I'm the track announcer for the Detroit Grand Prix, and every driver I talk to in any racing series, they watch the movie Senna, the documentary about Ayrton Senna, because he was a winner. He challenged himself. He was big in his faith, and they aspire to be like him. Do you watch Hoosiers? I watch Hoosiers for the same reason, that these are people that maybe this coach wants them to be better than even they can believe. Do you take something from that as a head coach?
I've taken a number of things, and obviously each gym, especially when you went into the scenarios where you're the underdog, each gym, the court is 94 feet. The rims are 10 feet tall. But it's more just how on any team. I think the moral of all the team sports movies are that the elite teams are better because of each other. And when you take those individual pieces and separate them, they're just pretty good. But together, then they can be great, especially on any given night. So I think that's very symbolic of our team. We have guys making sacrifices every single night. They work so hard to play and perform in games, and then they don't get to as much as they'd like because of the quality of their teammates. And so we just stress appreciating each other, and we're all better because we're together.
There's something special going on there, isn't it? Feels like it.
We think so. Something unique, and special, being that what they're doing is countering human nature. It's countering what they're hearing from everywhere else except our locker room and our facility. And that's human nature. And it's not isolated to anyone. These guys, staff, players, everyone are hearing the same types of things. We become an individual sport at times. And so we have to fight it daily to make sure that we continue to put our teammates on the same plane or above us if we want to do something special together.
Dusty May, all the games here, University of Michigan basketball on 94.7 WCSX. I really appreciate the time. It's wonderful talking to you. Do you open one present on Christmas Eve or Christmas morning only?
Traditionally on Christmas Eve, but I don't need much, so I can't even think of anything that I want or need. So my wife and I now we let our boys open one the night before and then finish it off Christmas morning.
You want a banner. That's what you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go, man.
I want some jewelry.
Hey, all the best. Really enjoy the conversation, Coach. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Jim. I've heard great things. Thank you.